Hello, beautiful people. What's up? I hope you're doing well. I am Lady Calamere. I welcome you again to my channel. If you're new here, hey, welcome. Check out my channel because I've done a lot of presentations. So this is my 195th presentation. It will be on Ammit, Ammit, and there's Lady Boss. Yeah. Just tear apart everything. Why not? You were acting well behaved until I turned on the camera. The second you heard that video turn on, here we go. We gotta act like a nut job. Well, there she is. So, that's what you get on this channel. Cats, cuteness, chaos. Cat, chaos, and catness. Cat, cuteness, chaos, and craziness. So she just tore some things down. There she goes. There she goes. She knows we're making it about her. Why as well. So Ammit, who is she? She is an Egyptian goddess slash demoness. So let's get to it, because we are heading towards Samhain. We're in September. And by the way, it almost my friend's Peggy's birthday. So happy birthday to you, Peggy. Her birthday's on the 9th, so happy birthday to her. Oh, we have another visitor. Here comes Jack. So, who is she? What is she? This is my 195th video. Ammit is she deals with the other side, the underworld. And she serves a purpose. Now, many of you may only know her through the Marvel's Moon Knight, where her adversary is Khonsu. In Egyptian mythology and tradition and religion, was it true? Did they fight each other? Did they hate each other? Nope. They didn't have that type of interaction at all, or really much, if any, interaction. Now, was she worshipped? No evidence of her worship. There is no evidence at all that she was ever worshipped. In fact, she was quite feared. And for good reason. But she does do a great service. So, when in ancient Egyptian, depending on the dynasty, when you died, your heart is weighed. You have to go through you should go through the negative confessions. But if your heart is heavier than the feather, if it does not balance out, or if your heart is not lighter than a feather, well, then you're in trouble. Depending on the dynasty, she would swallow your whole soul, your ba, your ka, everything about your spirit, and you would exist no more, as if you were now gone, oblivion. In another dynasty, depending on the time, she would only eat your ba, your spiritual soul, your spiritual heart. So the rest of your energy, your soul, is left to wander aimlessly and pretty much in torment and in a wandering spirit. The other one, dynasty, well, she would take your soul and throw it into the lake of fire. And all of these, by being devoured or thrown into the lake of fire in any form or fashion, was considered the second death. You hear that in Revelations, the second death. If you didn't leave a decent life and you leave an immoral life, well, you'll be thrown into the lake of fire and therefore face the second death. So, people like pedophiles, murderers, shit like that. And I have no sympathy at all for pedophiles. Go to Ammit, you bitch. So, anyways, her name was spelled Ammt instead of Ammit. Okay, it was 4-letter spelling. Now, this beautiful card of Ammit comes from this deck that I truly recommend, especially if you're into Egypt, ladies. The Kemetic Tarot by Michael Coles, based on the Egyptian book of Coming Forth by Day. Michael Coles does excellent work. There is a way to have cheat codes to help you pass judgment and not be devoured by Ammit, and I'll give those in a minute, to at least help you. But here we see she's with card 11, which is Justice in the tarot deck. So how would you get cheat codes? Well, first is to, when you are being judged when you're dead, is to do the negative confessions and point out what you didn't do. Well, at least I may have done this, but I didn't murder anyone. I may have done this, but, you know, my soul is heavy, not heavy from doing this or doing that. Now, it is said sometimes your heart will speak out against you. So, what was done is to be buried with a heart scarab. And, well, not interred. You should be, not buried, but you should have your funeral done, and your body, someone should put on your body, your carcass, a heart scarab and the Book of the Dead. So those are extra cheat codes. Now, of course, the judges and the prosecutor, Tahuti, Osiris, is, you know, pretty enlightened. But Ammit, there is no, as far as Ammit, there is no way of pleading with her. There is no way of saying, hey, I'll give you an offering if you don't swallow me. No, that doesn't work. She's just waiting for the soul to be eaten. Okay? So, she's called a devourer for a reason. So, Ammit, her hieroglyph, what was describing her, was an owl. So they would use an owl because the owl was, you know, many cultures dealing with forewarning, foreboding, dealing with death. So they would use an owl to describe her. She is a composite animal goddess. Her head of a crocodile, her forearms and midsection that of a lion, and her hind section that of, so her legs and the hind section, her rump, was a hippopotamus. Now sometimes the middle, instead of being a lion, was I believe a tiger or another big animal. But however, she's usually described as crocodile, lioness, and a hippopotamus. And these animals not only represented the Nile, the Nile River, but also were the 3 largest threats to man. They were man-eaters back then. They, you know, you didn't want to fuck with the hippopotamus. You didn't want to mess with the lion, and you didn't want to cross paths, you know, directly with the crocodile, because they will rip you apart and eat you. So yes, so she is those 3 composite animals together. And it is also later on, such as you see here, she is described as the guardian of the lake of fire, where she stays by the lake of fire. And it's said that she is sometimes forced to stay there unless she would devour the world. Hungry one, ain't she? So it is said that Ammit can be used against negative forces, and she could be used as a force to bind. So she stood next to the scale of truth in the hall of judgment, waiting to devour the unworthy one. And if you were worthy enough, then you can pass to the land of reeds, where you would be, happy. She was immense important. Her stories were immense important to the ancient Egyptians. The terrifying demoness goddess who brought justice when the soul was unworthy. Whether you're rich or poor, old or young, you lived a full life or your life was cut short, if your heart weighed less than a feather, then you would go down her throat. But of course, like I said, there are some cheat codes that can help. Does not 100% guaranteed is to help you. All because you have a cheat code in a video game doesn't mean you're going to win. Unless you have given infinite lifespan on the video game. But whatever. So it was through her, the Egyptians feared her, and it helped controlled, let them know to control your behavior, or there will be, you'll pay for it in the end. So go ahead, wreck your hell, see what happens, pretty much. Or as my friend Mike likes to say, and I like to say, fuck around and find out. Hi, Mike. So, yeah, she deals with the underworld and the dead. So, yes, she is a dark one. No, she doesn't play well with others. And yes, she is good for this time of year coming up for Samhain. And she does do a service. She is known to be the devourer of souls, but she can also be called the devourer of bad souls, the devourer of millions, eater of the dead. She's known as the enforcer of good, punisher of evil, eater of hearts, great of death, devourer of bones, punisher of, she who punishes evil. So she is sometimes like she's a deity of death, but sometimes she's really defined as a demoness. And very powerful. She's pretty much the stuff of true nightmares. So, like I said, there are no evidence of worship or temples to her. There hasn't been unearthing of any temple or shrine to her. So, with her, no one's above the law. So the worthy soul, once they have nothing to fear from her, but those who have done evil, could end up staying up at night in ancient Egypt and wondering, am I going to be eaten by a Ammit? So she's pretty much the enforcer of Ma'at. She's the enforcer. She's like, I wish a bitch would, pretty much. Because she'll find you as a tasty snack. And that's how she was seen. She was also known as Ammit, Ammut, Ammut, and the other one Ahemait. So her name is generally translated as devourer. Now, some people try to say she's pretty much like, that she may be linked to Sekhmet, but because she guards protecting the lake of fire, but hey, if you want to stretch it like that, go ahead. So, as you see here, it's a pretty fiery card. It looks like she's a guardian to the Christianized or the Islamic hell. It's very beautifully done. So, yes, she would be considered a dark goddess. And as far as the heart scarab, that would be used, the cheat code, why it's a cheat code, is because it would be used to encourage your heart not to speak out against you. It's like, shut up, heart, be quiet. Dummy up, heart. Don't do that. But again, there were amulets, there were spells in the Book of the Dead to help you with this. And the Book of the Dead was like your book saying, hey, I got the Book of the Dead here. I don't, it's sort of like to know what to do, know what to say. Her image was also thought in ancient Egypt, though. Her image was thought to ward off evil and was said to ward off evil because she's a devourer of that. She's a devourer of that shit. Is she worshipped in modern times? I'm sure there are people that worship her, especially among the left-hand path of, and one can do a meditation where you just, if you want to go that way, or a path, a guided meditation to have her, to meet her and just give her your worries and burdens and your sorrows and let her eat it. So, like in Moon Knight, she was the one that would be a riddle asking Sphinx, like in the comics, but that is more ascribed to the Greek Sphinx and not the Egyptian Sphinx. And in Moon Knight, we see that she wants to judge people even for crimes they even haven't committed yet or have yet to commit, and which she becomes a villain, in which Khonsu has to defeat her, which is a pretty good show, but as far as being a true Egyptian mythology, bzz, nope. So, and her personality is very, she's very ferocious. She is a very voracious goddess. And she just likes to eat bad souls. She's a carnivore. Carnivore. Okay? So she's a carnivorous goddess. And apparently I hear one of my cats crying upstairs. I'll be right back. Let's hope there's no fuckery when I'm away from here. I'll be right back. Sorry, I'll be right back in less than a minute. I'm back, people. So what happened was a cat was stuck in a room. My cat was crying because apparently she closed the door on herself like she always does, and she got locked in the bathroom. So she couldn't get out, so she started crying. Sorry about that, but duty calls. Oh, look, Jack took my spot. Now I have to move this crap out of my way. Oh my God, Jack. Wait, get your tail out of my way. Sorry about that. So also some people like to say she is Towerette, or she strikes a similar, like she is striking physical resemblance to Towerette, which is another goddess. So, like I said, there is no point in petitioning her, or making deals, or pleading with her, or begging her not to eat you, because that's not going to happen. When you are judged and judgment is passed, in the ancient Egyptian beliefs, you were either, again, crossed out from existence, where you're no more. You existed, but you're in oblivion. You are now a wandering soul, or you are in the lake of fire. So, no paradise for you. She's also known as the greatness of death. So write that down if you're eating, and if you're writing. Sorry, if you're not eating. If you're writing down things, greatness of death. She is called the Eater. Eater. Eat, the Eater. So Yeah. So what? So once you're eaten by her, that's it. Oh God, it's been crazy. It's been real crazy. So she represents consequences for your actions, a karmic justice. She is the reckoning. It's basically cause and effect with her. She is a goddess who purges evil. Oh, what else do I want to talk about her if there's anything really rolling in my head? Again, I don't use a script. I don't use notes. This is all from memory. She is a goddess of destruction and she is a goddess of death. Remember that. She is a goddess of, she is the destroyer and eater of sin. There is, that's what she does. She's a goddess of death and destruction and eater of sin. So, anyways, uh, I think that's pretty much it. What I want to talk about her. I know this is pretty much a short presentation. And I do appreciate you putting up with the craziness here with the cats and my cat locking herself in the bathroom and then crying because Miss Kitty does that. She's famous for that. So, anyways, was she given offering? I don't think she was. I'm sure people would like to, there are people who will worship her and give her offering, but remember, she's a carnivorous meat eater. And if you want, you can give her meat, you can give her wine, bread, always a good thing in Egypt. Uh, can't go. I guess you can't go wrong with chocolate with her. So, anyways, thank you for watching. I really appreciate you. She's, and as like I said, she's very powerful. Don't forget how powerful she is. But thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my videos so that you never miss a presentation. Give me a thumbs up if you like this. I hope you learned something from this. Share my video with your friends and family. And share it on Facebook, Twitter, or whatever. Try to respect each other and be good to each other. It's hard out there, and it's not going to get any easier. Hope it does. But I do want to wish my friend Peggy Fox a happy birthday. And as always, blessed be.